Hello students, I am Pavitra. I am going to take chapter 4, that is structure of atom. Okay, let's start the class. In chapter 3 or in the last video we had studied the atoms and molecules in details, right? In that what we had studied, all the matter is made up of very tiny particle called atoms. Right? Second one, atom are indivisible particles. Atom cannot be created nor destroyed, and atom in a molecule have same mass and chemical property. This is Dalton's theory, right? We had studied in our last video, which is proved wrong. Which is proved wrong when other scientists discovered fundamental particles like electrons and protons. Okay, then let's study about what is electron, what is proton. Discovery of electrons and protons. When two objects rub each other, when you rub two stones each other, you will get heat in that, right? When two objects rub each other, they will produce heat. That means they produce electrically charged particles. Next question is, where does this charged particle came from? This question is answered by knowing that an atom is consist of charged particles. The scientist E. Goldstein in the year 1886 discovered the presence of new radiation. He built an discharge tube in that he observed a new radiation is passed in a gas discharge tube. He called it as canal rays. Okay, see the diagram here. Here there is a cathode, anode, and these cathode and anode is connected to a high voltage battery. This is a discharge tube with the vacuum pump. Okay, when battery is get connected, one ray is passed from the anode towards the cathode, and one red glow we can see in cathode side. Okay, this ray he called as canal rays. See here, released one radiation. When he on that battery, high voltage battery, one radiation is passed here, and we can see the red glow at cathode. So he gave name as a canal rays. For this ray he gave name as canal rays, and so he concluded that these canal rays are positively charged particles. Okay, canal rays is produced, he called as positively charged particles, and also he called it as proton. And who discovered proton? E. Goldstein. Further, the scientist named J.J. Thomson, he said that atom consists of negatively charged particles. Here J.J. Thomson is a scientist, and he also said that atom is not only contain proton but also it contain electrons, which is negatively charged electrons denoted by E negative. Okay, what is the symbol here? Electron is denoted as E negative, proton is denoted as P positive. J.J. Thomson got Nobel Prize for the discovery of its electrons. Now the question is, where these electrons and protons are located? Where these present? They said they gave the position of electron and protons in an atom. So he said structure of atoms. Here one more scientist, J.J. Thomson, he gave one model for an atom. In that he said, he proposed that atom consists of positively charged sphere. This sphere is there, no, that is positively charged, and negative, and electrons are embedded in it. Electrons are there inside the positively charged sphere. What he proposed, Thomson, he proposed that atom is consists of positively charged sphere, and electrons are there in the middle of it, the sphere. Okay, second one he said the positive and negative charges are equal. So atom are electrically neutral. Here how many positive positive charge are there? That is equal to negative charge inside it. So he said these atom is electrically neutral. Like example, he gave an example, watermelon. In that seeds is there, no, that is electrons, and red part which you eat, no, that is he called as protons. This theory is proved wrong when new scientist named Rutherford conducted an gold foil experiment. In that he took one gold foil, thin gold foil, then he passed an alpha particle to the gold foil. What he expected? He expected the produced alpha particle is there, no, that will deflect in this way. But its expectation was failed. What happened in his theory? He selected a thin gold foil. Okay, why thin gold foil? Because he need very thin foil which can made only by using gold. That's why he made thin gold foil, and he made to hit alpha particle ray to the gold foil. He made to hit these alpha particle ray to the gold foil. Like that he made to hit. What is that? Alpha particle. Why he took alpha particles here? It means the alpha particles means it is a helium atoms. 2 helium atoms. That is double charged helium atom he took. That means it contains 4 atomic mass unit it contains. So he took alpha particle as a source. Okay. Then he was expected that the ray will deflect. The ray will deflect in this way. Since alpha particle is heavier than gold foil, the alpha particle helium is there, no, that is heavier than gold foil. So he thought when alpha particle hit to the gold foil, it will deflect in this way. But what happened really? Really it happened, some of the particles are passed straight line. Some of the particle are passed through straight line, and some of the lines are deflected in a small angle like this. See here, in a small angle they deflected in this way. And some of the particle, what happened? It when it hit the particles, it will bounce back. Some of the particle is made like that. What happened here? But alpha particle scattering, these alpha particle scattering is there, no, that experiment give totally unexpected result. In that what happens? Most of the fast moving alpha particle passed straight lines, and some of the alpha particle are deflected by small angles like that. It deflected by small angles, and only the ray out of 12,000 rays, one rays are bounced back, rebounded. So Rutherford came to conclusion that he said most of the space inside an atom is empty. Here, if it is an atom and atom is there, then when alpha particle is passed in a straight line, no. So he said passed through the foil. So he said atom is most of the place is empty. He said most of the place is empty, like that he told. In the second one, what he told, or what conclusion he told, in the second he said that very small particle are deflected in a small angles, right? Incident and deflected in the small angle. Okay, positively charged. So he said positively charged atom occupied a little space. He said these positively charged particle is there, no, that occupied little space in an atom. In the third one he said some of the particles are hit here and bounced back, right? Bounced back, no. So he said all the positive charges and their mass and their weight or mass are placed inside an atom. All the positive charges and their masses are placed inside an atom. He concluded this. On the basis of his experiment, Rutherford's experiment is, on the basis of that, he put one nuclear model. Of an atom. What he did? There is a positively charged center of an atom called nucleus. Remember this term, nucleus. Okay. What he said? There is a positively charged center of an atom. It's called nucleus. There is a positively charged center. Here, everywhere, positively charged center is there, and this is called nucleus. And all the mass of an atom present in the nucleus. Here in this nucleus, every mass, all the masses of all atom are present. Second one, he said the electron revolve around the nucleus in a circular path. In a circular path is there, no? In a circular path, electrons are moving, revolving, or otherwise electrons are revolving around the circular path, around the atom. Then size of nucleus is very small as compared to atom. If this is a nucleus, and its size is very small as compared to the whole atom. Rutherford's this experiment proved wrong when other scientists found a drawback for this experiment. What is that drawback? We will see now. Now let's study the drawback of Rutherford experiment. In this, Rutherford said that electron revolve around the nucleus. If it is nucleus where is positively charged are there, then electrons revolve around the nucleus, he said, right? Electrons will revolve around the nucleus, he said, in a circular orbit. This is called orbit. What happens? Any particle in a circular orbit loses its electron. Here, if electrons revolve around the nucleus, then it will lose its electrons. So what happens here? The revolving electron would, if it is losing its electron, it would revolve like this and hit the nucleus. It have the ability to hit the nucleus. And if it is just so, if it is hit the nucleus, then these matters does not exist. Does not exist as we know. Yeah? We know atoms are quite stable. If we know that atoms are quite stable, if electrons is moving in a circular path, it would lose its electron and it would revolve like this and hit the nucleus. So it will be not stable. We know that atoms are quite stable. So this model is there, that is proved wrong. After the drawback of Rutherford experiment, one scientist came or physicist came, Niels Bohr. He proposed Bohr's model of atom. He proposed one more model for atom, that is called Bohr's model of atom. In that he said electron revolve in a special orbit known as discrete orbit of electrons. What he said, electron will revolve around a special orbit. Special orbit, in that he named that orbit as a discrete orbit of electrons are allowed inside the atom. Okay, he said if this is a nucleus which contains positive charge, he said electrons revolve around the orbit which is called discrete orbit of electrons. While revolving the discrete orbitals, the electrons do not radiate energy. While revolving around, electron will revolve around the discrete orbit. While doing that, while revolving that, electron energy will not slot. Energy will not lose. Okay, third one is said these orbital or shell are called energy levels. These orbitals is called orbitals or shells is called energy levels. Okay, fourth one, these orbits are named as, like that is orbit is there. This is the orbit he named as K shell, L shell, K shell, L shell, M shell and N shell. He named it as K, L, M, N. These are the shell or orbit. Before studying about orbit or shell, we have to know that there is a positive and electron charges is there. Now one scientist, J. Chadwick, discovered there is a neutrons which have no charges, or otherwise it's have charge 0. He said that it is just to have have no charges, okay, and it have only masses. See here, neutron, which is symbol is N, it have 0 charge but it have mass. It have its own weight. The mass of neutron, which is equal to mass of proton. Here proton are there in a nucleus, right? Nucleus are in a proton are there in a nucleus. The proton is equal to neutron. Okay, and the mass of atom present in its nucleus. Mass is there, no, which is present in a nucleus. Then mass of electron, which is equal to the electrons is there, no, in orbits. As I told, in orbital electrons are revolving, no. The mass of electrons, mass of present in its nucleus. The mass of these whole atom is equal to mass of neutron plus mass of protons. Then neutron represented by symbol N. Neutron is presented by the symbol N. After the Bohr model, we have to know that how the electrons are distributed in an orbit. Okay, there is a rules. In the first rules, the maximum number of electrons present in one shell is given by the formula 2n square. Okay, if there is a here it is a nucleus which contains positive charge and 0 neutrons. Electrons all revolve around the shell or orbit, right? Electrons are revolve around the orbit or shell. there is a electron distribution rules are there. How should be the electrons distributed? The electrons present in one shell is given by the formula 2n square. In one shell there is a 2n square number of electrons should be there. What is that 2n square? We will see now. Example, this is first orbit, that is k orbit. In the k orbit, k is that is 1 first orbit, right? Here n, in the place of n we have to add 1. 2 into 1 square is equal to 2. That means maximum number of electrons should be 2 in the first orbit. Okay, like the L orbital is there. In L is number is 2. Okay, 2 into 2 square is equal to 8. Then for the second shell there should be 8 electrons. Like that m. For m, n is equal to 3. Then 2 into 3 the square. How much it will be? 18 electrons should be there in third shell. Okay, like that 32 electrons should be there in fourth shell. That is n orbit or n shell. Okay. Second rule is the orbit or shell are filled in a stepwise numbers. Stepwise numbers in the sense, after first shell there should be 2 electrons. Second shell there should be 8 electrons. Like that it should be filled. Then outermost shell cannot have more than 8 electrons. Here outermost shell there, no, that should be 8 electrons, should not more than 8 electrons. These distribution of electron is there, no? These distribution of electron what we studied now, these also called electronic configuration. Very, very important. Next topic we will study about valence. Okay, what is valency? Valency is the electrons present in the outermost shell of an atom are known as valence electrons. Outermost shell, here the nucleus is there, positive and neutrons. Electrons are revolve around the shell. These outermost shell which contains electron are called valence electrons. Example, we will see sodium, Na have number of electrons 11 in the sense, in the first shell 2 electrons, 8 and 1. K shell 2 electrons, L shell 8 electrons, and M shell 1 electron should be there. Okay, here if it is a sodium proton, then electron in the K shell should be 2 electrons, and in the L shell there should be 8 electrons, and in the outermost shell there should be 1 electrons. M shell there should be 1 electrons, and the present outermost shell of an atom are known as valence electrons. Okay, here number of valence electron will be 1. Okay, second, if we take example chlorine, Cl, it have 17 electrons, which contains 2, 8 and 7. K shell contains 2 electrons, L shell contains 8 electrons, and M orbit contains 7 electrons. Then the outermost orbit contains 7 electrons, which is number of valence electrons are called 7s. Here when one atom react with other atom, that atom is expect that its outermost orbital which is unfilled is, that should be filled completely. This is possible in 2 ways. Either it takes electron from the other to fulfill its octet rule, that is 8 electrons should be there in the outermost electrons as rule number 4, correct, which can be obtained by gaining other electron from the other atoms, or otherwise it should give its electron to the other. By doing so it vacant its outermost orbits. By giving or by losing its whole electron, outermost orbit is there, that should be empty. Then what do you mean by valency? The number of electron gained or lost by an atom to complete its outermost shell is known as valency. So there is a difference between valence electrons and valence. Valence electron is the number of electrons are there in a outermost shell. Here number of electrons gained or lost by an atom to complete its outermost shell is known as valencies. Let's come to the other topic, which is atomic number. Here atomic number is the total number of proton present in the nucleus. See, we know here this is a nucleus which contains protons, correct, positive charged. So we say atomic number is the total number of proton present in the nucleus of an atom is called atomic number. In a nucleus is denoted by S. Atomic number is denoted by S. Let's come to the other topic, mass number. What is mass number? The sum of total number of proton and neutron present in the nucleus of atom is known as mass number. Here in this nucleus there should be equal number of proton and neutron. That was the mass number is called as proton plus neutron, denoted by the symbol A. This is the symbol to write the elements or atoms. Here in the middle there should be a symbol of element. In the right side, the upper part mass number and down atomic number. Example, if nitrogen we take, this is the mass number, this is the atomic number. Second topic we will know about isotopes. What is isotope? Isotope are those atoms of same element having atomic number same but mass number different. Next we will learn about isotopes. Here isotopes are those atoms. Isotopes are for the atoms of same element having same atomic number but different mass numbers. Okay, here hydrogen is one of the atoms, right? Atom. Here is the hydrogen have same elements like H or other hydrogen which have same atomic number. Here see, here the symbol we have to write in down, right? Here symbol down 1 is there. This is the atomic number but different mass number is there, 1 2 3. Here H11 is there, no, that is protium, deuterium and tritium. These are the same element and same atomic number but different mass numbers. Okay, some atoms are the mixture of two isotopes. Okay, example, you take chlorine. Chlorine means Cl. Okay, Cl have 17 atomic number but 35 and 37 are the different mass numbers. Here Cl35 is 75% available but 37 is 5%, 25% available. Here 3:1 ratio they are available, exist in our nature, right? Average atomic mass 35, like 75% divided by 100 plus 37 into 25 divided by 100, we will get 35.5 AMU is the mass number, total average mass number for chlorine atoms. Okay, we will study about use of isotopes. Here one isotope, an isotope of uranium. Uranium's isotope is there, no, that is used as a fuel for what? For nuclear reactor. And second one, an isotope of cobalt. Cobalt isotope is there, CO, is used in the treatment of cancer. And isotope of iodine is used in the treatment of goiter. Okay, next topic is isobars. What is that isobars? Atom of different element. Here different element are there with the different atomic number but what? Have same mass number are known as isobars. See here examples. For isobars we take calcium. Calcium have atomic number 20 and argon Ar which have atomic number 18 but both have mass number is 40. Here different atomic number but same mass number is known as isobars. Here now we had studied isotopes and isobars. See the difference. For same element like hydrogen I have told, no, for example, for same element, this is for different element. Here calcium and argons. Here same atomic number, isotope have same atomic number but isobars have different atomic number. Here 20 and 18 are the different atomic number but isotope have different mass number, isobars have same mass number. This is the your structure of atoms lesson. Please study this. This is your chapter structure of the atom till we had completed this chapter. Please study. This will be this chapter will be there for your FA2 exam. Okay.